you can play. I'll hold my finger really still, and you can play my blessing field. Don't go. Here's a wow, a towel too. A little bird from this for you. I have a cookie. You have them. Here's the oatmeal cookie crunch. Hey, bud. Hey.
Good job. And I just have three Grandma and Grandpa three memories. The first is when I was probably 12 or 13. Grandma said she'd pay me $10 for every hymn I learned how to play on the piano, up to 10 hymns. So I practiced, and at that point I thought that was just, I was going to be rich for the rest of my life if I could just learn 10 hymns. So I learned the 10 hymns, and I thought that was great. And in hindsight now, I think it's really great because those are the only 10 hymns I can actually sit down and play still because I practiced them so much so I could get that $100. So that was a great gift she gave me, not just $100, but also being able to play in church.
Get him, Robin. Robin, get him.
Okay, and then the next story is Grandpa Milne to me has always been just the most even-tempered. I've never seen him lose his temper except for once, and that was when Scott and I were probably 10 and 12 and playing cards. And everyone knows Grandpa takes playing cards very seriously. And the only time I've ever in my whole life heard him yell was when we ripped the 5 apart. And he yelled. And he turned bright red, kind of like right now. And the last story I want to tell is that when I went to college, Grandma sat me down and gave some good advice. And I guess this is advice that Elaine had given. Actually, it wasn't really good advice, but advice that Elaine had given before. And it was when you go to college, in every class, sit next to the cutest guy in the room and say, I don't get this. Can you help me? That advice did not help me earn a PhD nor a husband, but I'm pretty happy for not taking it. So, Grandma and Grandpa, I love you. I wish you all the best. I'm so happy to be your granddaughter, and I love you. I have a lot of really good memories of Grandma and Grandpa. There's not one summer or one festival competition or a trip to Wendy's that I don't remember without Grandma and Grandpa. Like Scott said, we were really lucky to live so close to Grandma and Grandpa and be able to see them all the time. A few memories I have. I remember when, I think I was maybe 10, 12, Grandma and Grandpa babysat me for the week at our house. And Grandpa just loved helping with me with the math, and he was just so smart, and he wanted to do it all by himself. But he helped me out, and that's one thing. Grandpa always wanted to help and be a part of my life, and I really appreciate that about him. And Grandma really helped with the house, too. She helped teach me how to clean everything, and we organized all the closets and everything. And I think that's one thing that I really learned from Grandma is that I love having a clean house, and I really appreciate her teaching me that. Another memory I have 3. When I was with Joy, we were staying at Grandma and Grandpa's house, and I lost a tooth. And I guess Grandma just didn't trust that the tooth fairy would come or something, I don't know. But our dog, Kathy, was downstairs sleeping with me and Joy. And Grandma came down, and she tried so hard to sneak some money in because I guess she didn't trust the tooth fairy. So she always wanted to, please her grandkids, and I like that. Hi. And then one other memory was when. Nope.
Probably get him.
Another memory I have was when Joy and I were again at their house, and we decided that we wanted to cook dinner for Grandma and Grandpa. And so I wasn't used to having their kind of stove, and they had like the covers on top of it. So Joy and I thought we'd cook, and she's like, oh, I think we should take those off. I'm like, oh no, it's part of the stove, it's no problem. We ended up, I surprised their house didn't burn down, but they were yelling at me. They were really nice, and I just thought, oh, if this would have happened at home, I would have been dead. Really appreciate how Grandma and Grandpa have always treated me well. One other really quick story is, sorry, I have really good memories of them. They really encouraged us to do well on report cards and things, and one time Grandma gave me $20, and I thought, oh, this is great. And then I went to Grandpa, and he wanted to see my report card. He gave me $20, so I ran upstairs to tell you there was them, so.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, I really am a lucky one because I have lived close to Mom and Dad pretty well all of my life, and it's really been wonderful. And the two things that I want to talk today about are Mom and Dad and the service that they provide to other people. And when I was thinking about the service that they provide, I thought, maybe a couple of things. And then I started listing the service that they provide for so many people and all the things that they've done. The first thing I was thinking of is the service that they provided in church. Dad's been bishop 2 or 3 times, Mom Relief Society president several times. They participate they don't have to be in a leadership position. They participate in everything that's going on in church and help with everything that's going on. And when Dad was mission president, they both worked just so hard, and then being in the temple presidency, worked so hard all the time, doing everything they possibly could to help other people. And they're still really involved in their ward. Mom is the Relief Society secretary, and she just does a great job. And all of the rest of the women in the Relief Society presidency are young, a little older than Allison, but yeah, and then there's Mom. And she tries to kind of curve them a little occasionally, but she works really hard at it, and they have all the meetings at Mom's house, because they said it's always clean and it's always ready, and they just love coming over there. A lot of service in church and still really involved, but then they're civic. They really cared about the community that they lived in, and both of them were on town council, and Mom served as mayor, and she really loves the people and loves Carson and loves doing anything she could to serve it. And I was thinking too, Marilyn, about when Mom was mayor and Dad was home making the cakes, and she'd say she needs 3 cakes and go off to be mayor, and then come back with the 3 cakes, and Dad would drive her to wherever she needed to drop them off at, and everything, and they just really worked hard for everybody else. In fact, even last summer, I was going into a powwow in Carson with some friends, and Dad had been over the day before helping pound the tent pegs in the lawn and everything else for the powwow for the town. But probably the greatest service is in the family, and all of us have been recipients of service. And I just think of all the great care that they took of Grandma and Grandpa Hall, and how wonderful they were to them. And it certainly is a good example to all of us of how we should take care of our parents. And the things that they did for Grandma and Grandpa. And not just Grandma and Grandpa, but for Wallace, Grandma's brother, how Mom took care of him for years and did all of his banking or anything he wanted or anything he needed or anything he thought he might want. And even Aunt Pearl and they certainly go to everything, and all of us have been so touched by the fact that they'll make long, long trips to be wherever we are to celebrate anything that we're doing, and so proud of us. Dad maybe retired at 55, but then he worked really hard. He's worked really hard the last 30 years or so. Every day gets up with a list for things of work he's going to do and things he's going to do because he really believed in working and serving other people, and he just didn't get paid a lot. And then the other thing is, they really taught me about friends and how to be a good friend and how to have great friends. They still have the same friends, the same friends that she went to elementary school with. And in fact, we even have some of them here. Really see that forever. And they're great friends. Mom belongs to 2 clubs, and when I say Mom belongs to them, yes, but the men are involved in both of those clubs all the time. And they're still, for 30, 40, 60 years, 60 years, one of them, still good friends with the same people. And the other thing I like about their friendships is that they're no respecter of persons. That people don't have to just fit in one kind of mold to be friends with Mom and Dad. They have friends of all kinds, and I've really always appreciated that. And being in Lethbridge, I meet a lot of people that know Mom and Dad, and when they say they're from Carson, I say, oh, well, John and Down the Road are my parents. I get the nicest compliment, and people like me because of my parents. I have a lot of friends that say, oh, could I just be adopted? They would just love to be Mom and Dad's daughter. And I know that if I can just emulate those two things, the service that they give to other people and the friendships, that I'll be a better person. And I love you, Mom and Dad, and I'm so proud of you. Thank you.